tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
New updates on student debt relief. We have the details. Winter is in full swing. What you need to know for Bedlam. Plus, a special counsel is investigating former President Donald Trump. We'll let you know why and how food options are changing here on campus. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Gabriella Tamani.
And I'm Amaya Ward. We begin with breaking news about the federal student loan forgiveness plan.
OU Nightly's Noah Mack joins us with the new developments. Noah?
Well, just hours ago, the Biden administration called on the Supreme Court to allow its student loan forgiveness plan to continue. This is despite its ongoing legal challenges. The program is currently on hold after lower courts blocked it in early November. So far, about 26 million people have applied to the program, but the loans have not been forgiven. Payments on federal student loans are set to resume on January 1st after they were paused during the pandemic. Gabriella, Amaya, back to you.
Thanks, Noah. Gabby, I hear there were some snow flurries coming down this morning.
That's right. I did see a little bit of snow on my way to class this morning. Peyton, could we see snow at the big game this weekend?
That's right. I saw snow this morning on my way to calculus, but luckily there will be no snow tomorrow at the Bedlam game. Tonight, eastern parts of Oklahoma, such as Tulsa, does have that risk for seeing a few flurries here and there. And really, the temperature's 24 degrees colder here than this time yesterday. But right now, we are sitting close at 32 degrees at that freezing mark. And really, these temperatures are feeling a lot colder than normal. 24 degrees feels like here in Norman. So coming up, I'm going to talk about how long this cold temperature lingers around, your first look at Thanksgiving, and your Bedlam forecast.
Thank you, Peyton. Twitter offices were announced to be closed, and users found themselves panic on the timeline. OU Nightly's Tyler DeLuca has more.
On Twitter last night, the trending tab included hashtags such as hashtag RIP Twitter, hashtag Twitter takeover, and hashtag Twitter shutdown that had users tweeting their goodbyes to the app. This came following reports that there were limited employees remaining to keep Twitter afloat. A mass exodus was reportedly seen in Twitter's Slack group, with employees sending a salute emoji prior to departing with 3-month severance. This all comes in response to Musk's company-wide email detailing the need to be extremely hardcore to bring in Twitter 2.0, meaning in his eyes, quote, working long hours at high intensity. Through the chaos on the timeline, Musk remained unbothered on his own profile, tweeting memes, and that, quote, we just hit another all-time high in Twitter usage. Let that sink in. Over the years, Twitter has become a tool for many, and students here on campus are no different. For Xavier Rohn, a May graduate and Twitter user since 2015, he worries about how a shutdown of the app could impact his future.
Twitter provides such a unique experience because it provides such just intimate and unparalleled access to creators across the world. And that's really valuable for networking experiences, especially at my age. So I think losing that powerful of a platform would be very harmful.
For Twitter users of all ages, they now play the waiting game to see if the platform will survive. Tyler DeLuca, OU Nightly.
As of now, the Twitter app is still functioning, and offices are expected to reopen Monday, November 21st.
Just days after his announcement to run again for president, a new development has come in the investigations of former President Donald Trump. Colton Williams has that and the rest of today's national headlines from the News Center. Colton?
That's right, Gabriella. Today, United States Attorney General Merrick Garland said that he is appointing a special counsel to further investigate the former President Donald Trump. The counsel will conduct 2 investigations, one into the documents discovered at Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago, and another into the former president's involvement in the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. And new details have been released today regarding the 2018 killing of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman will be granted immunity in a lawsuit over the killing of Khashoggi. Bin Salman, who denied the allegations, was recently made the Saudi prime minister. Because of this, he now qualifies for immunity as a foreign head of government. And it's been 10 days since the polls closed in this year's midterm elections. And today, Democratic challenger Adam Frisch conceded Colorado's 3rd congressional district race to incumbent Representative Lauren Boebert. With Boebert's victory, only 4 races remain too close to call as Republicans look to extend their majority in the House. Anna Maya and Gabriella, in the wake of Speaker Pelosi stepping down from House leadership, a vote will be held on November 30th to determine who the next Democratic House leader will be.
Thank you, Colton. OU dining options have become scarce, and it's left many students unsatisfied.
Hear what OU Housing and Food says it's causing the problem.
If you feel like you're eating the same meals every week, you're not alone. Students at OU are speaking out about the lack of food choices on campus.
It's your family. If a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane, you can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes.
Make a plan today.
If you feel like you're eating the same meals every week, you're not alone. Students at OU are speaking out about the lack of food choices on campus. OU Nightly's Katani Gouch has more.
Almost 3 years ago, restaurants like Kate Dining Center, Quiznos, and University Club were overflowing with students. Now, empty tables and chairs are the only things that fill these spaces.
I feel like ever since COVID pretty much happened, the availability of the food options that are on campus are very scarce.
Since the campus shut down in the spring of 2020, almost 10 different restaurants have closed on campus. Food Services claims that this is a result of a shortage in employees, stating that reductions in hours and locations are done as a last resort when there simply are not enough staff to operate the restaurant. Although Food Services is working to keep popular spots on campus open, students are upset with the lack of variety since the shutdown.
I feel bad for the freshmen because I barely even had any food options when I was a freshman. So just looking at it now, they had less than me.
From the all-day breakfast bar served right here at Kate Dining Center, to the late-night grilled cheese sandwiches that were served here at Couch Express, to the crowd-favored mac and cheese served here at University Club, the absence of these restaurants is felt all over campus. For students who are looking for different eating options, Food Services says to look out for their weekly food trucks every Tuesday and Thursday night. Katani Gooch, OU Nightly.
Plans to reopen University Club and Quiznos are set for next semester. For updates, find OU Housing and Food on Instagram.
Next on OU Nightly, one special holiday decoration took 2 weeks to get to the Capitol, but it finally arrived today.
And Peyton, if these freezing temperatures stick around, how many layers will I need for the night game happening tomorrow?
Well, you definitely need to bundle up because temperatures are going to dip below freezing as we go throughout the game. How cold it will actually be, coming up.
To Sofia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year. And lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region, too. So chances are there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to OU Nightly, and taking a look across the South Oval right now, a very dreary day, a very cold day. We are below freezing here in Norman, Oklahoma, and we actually broke a record for the coldest high temperature observed on this day. The old record, 35 degrees. We topped out around 32 degrees this morning. You can see some snow showers lingering across the state of Oklahoma. These flurries we saw this morning, but these have freshly popped up. Maybe we might see a flurry or two going into the evening hour, but right now 32 degrees and freezing across the metro, across the state as well. Temperatures below freezing. Tulsa barely above that freezing mark at 33 degrees, 34 in McAllister. Idabel, 47 degrees, the warmest person here in the state. And across the country, you can just see how big this cold front is that came through, single digits more up north. And there is snow on a good portion across the country. Up in Buffalo, they are getting feet of snow. Up in the Chicago area, the Dakotas, even across here in the plains as well. But this wind chill is no joke. Right now, we are sitting around 28 degrees as a feel like, and overnight it is going to be cold. It's going to feel like 20 degrees tomorrow morning. Guyman, we're not going to be as cold as you in the single digits, but going towards Bedlam tomorrow, kickoff, it's going to feel like 30 degrees once the game starts, and it's going to continue to fall throughout the duration of the game. So throughout the night tonight, we're going to drop below freezing. It's going to be a very cloudy night. Winds aren't going to be nearly as strong as we have seen. And if you are heading out to the Palace on the Prairie and you are going to tailgate this weekend, bundle up, grab those hand warmers because you are going to need layers on. Tailgating is going to be 46 degrees and pretty clear, but kickoff, it is at 6:30, so that sun is going to be down and there's not going to be any warmth coming. The temperatures are just going to drop. Kickoff, 36 degrees by halftime, at that freezing mark, 32, and by the game time ending, 30 degrees. Once again, this wind chill is going to make it feel even colder. Get those hand warmers, bundle up, get those layers on. I will be out there cheering on the Sooners. I hope to see you there. But Sunday, we're going to be clear again, back up in the 40s. Monday, Tuesday in the 50s. Wednesday, we're going to be back into the 60s, so we are warming up. Those low temperatures also warming up. But guys, we are monitoring a rain chance going into your Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Peyton. And speaking about the cold weather, the Christmas season has officially arrived in D.C. A huge Christmas tree was delivered to the Capitol today.
This year's tree is 78 feet tall and will be called Ruby. The tree will be in front outside of the U.S. Capitol, and its official lighting will take place on November 30th.
And that's it for news. Coming up next on OU Nightly, we'll hand it over to Big Friday Sports.
Stick around for everything you need to know about the Bedlam rivalry tomorrow in OU's last home game.
Welcome to Stillwater and welcome to Bedlam, with a build-up as rarely, if ever, been bigger in over 16-year history.
Or does your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Emily Faith.
And I'm Brooklyn Sweet. Today we're starting with all the craziness that is Bedlam football and what you need to know going into OU's last home game.
OU Nightly's Carly Murray and Parker Abels are live now with more.
I'm Carly Murray here with Parker Abels, and we're outside Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, where the Oklahoma Sooners are hosting the Bedlam Battle. Parker, what do you think it's going to look like tomorrow?
Well, back here, Baker Mayfield is stiff-arming little brother, and Oklahoma's going to need to do the same thing tomorrow. Oklahoma defensive coordinator Ted Roof says in order to win tomorrow, they need to put the last couple games behind them and focus on tomorrow.
And we do have to finish strong, but, you know, we got this one this week, and that's with Bedlam and everything associated with that. That's the focus of playing well enough to win this game, playing our best to win this game, and that's certainly that comes with it. But the focus is on preparing for Oklahoma State, not for what that could bring, but this game.
This could be one of the last Bedlam matchups, so it's important that OU gets the win, right, Carly?
Yeah, in July 2021, it was announced that Texas and Oklahoma will be joining the SEC in the near future. Well, here's what head coach Mike Gundy had to say about the Sooners and the Longhorns leaving.
Oklahoma State has changed any with the alignment that started a year ago, and the fact that we have a strong brand. We have a successful winning tradition and a large number of people across the country that want to watch Oklahoma State football. And as we've all talked about and we all understand, that's the direction that college football is going. That's where the money is.
As of now, Oklahoma and Texas are going to go to the SEC as of 2025, but clearly Mike Gundy isn't worried.
Yeah, well, reporting live from Heisman Park, I'm Parker Abels with Carly Murray. Emily and Brooklyn, back to you.
Thanks, Carly and Parker. Sticking with Big 12 games, let's take a look at the rest of tomorrow's matchups within the conference. Number 4, TCU starts off the Big 12 at 11 a.m. versus Baylor. And number 15, Kansas State plays at West Virginia at 1 p.m.
And the Longhorns travel to Kansas to take on the Jayhawks at 2:30 p.m. And the Red Raiders go up north to play Iowa State for a 6 p.m. kickoff. But back in the studio is Brig Bates to tell us about some high school football news. It's time for Ballin' with Brig.
The Oklahoma high school playoffs roll on this weekend with the Class 6A quarterfinals. Locally, Norman North host Owasso. And among the other teams left in Class 6A, Broken Arrow. They play Tulsa Union tonight. And speaking of the Tigers, the Jones name is very familiar across the Sooner State. And now there's another one. Caden Jones is a freshman at Broken Arrow High School playing varsity football. His dad is nonetheless Jinx legend and former OU running back Kewan Jones. He's scored plenty for the Sooners, but now he enjoys watching his son cross the goal line and being a dad even more.
Obviously, we've been doing it now for about 15 years. I coached him all the way up to basically high school. So, and just, training and, mentally getting him ready and, just kind of telling him what it's going to take and, how to work hard, extra and just doing the little things. So it's been a journey and, it's fun and I wouldn't want it no other way.
Kewan knows raising his children is a marathon, not a race, but he's in for the journey with his son, Caden, every step of the way.
He's always obviously he's mentored me and I'm following his footsteps like you said, but main thing is I'm trying to create my own legacy and not really follow in his footsteps, but try to create, build on to what he had, basically.
Caden looks up to his father for knowledge and mentorship, but focuses on creating his own path while keeping the Jones name alive in the world of football.
Oh, it's beautiful, because it just gives me flashbacks of, myself, because, he's a spitting image of me, so, the way he runs and, he's a little bit bigger than I am, so I'm fortunate enough for that, so, but yeah, it's fun.
Kewan is reliving his glory days of playing football with his son Caden running the ball, and it's something that he cherishes every time he watches him play.
I used to watch him. Every now and then I'll watch him, bring a smile to my face because it's your dad, so.
Caden looks up to his father on and off the football field, but seeing your own dad make plays just like you are is a special feeling.
Division I is the ultimate goal, and I always told myself, I can't limit my son on where he's going to go just because, I went to school at OU, but it would be a blessing. It would be a dream come true for him to, go to get recruited by, Coach Venables and another coach who coached me and for my son to follow my footsteps.
Kewan wants the best for Caden, and that's playing at the next level after high school, but he knows he can't hold him back from being himself.
Being recruited by OU, that's big. I dreamed of playing for them since I was little, following in my dad's footsteps, basically. So once I get there, I'm going to just take it all in, basically a surreal feeling.
Caden is now one step closer to his childhood dream. Tomorrow, he will be among a group of recruits visiting OU in Norman. And several five-star recruits will be on campus too, including Dallas area recruits Jackson Arnold and Peyton Bowen. And Houston area high school five-star defensive lineman David Hicks will also be at the game. That's all from Ballin' with Brig. Back to you.
Thanks, Brig. After a shocking overtime win against the Cowboys last week, the Packers couldn't keep their momentum against the Titans.
Tennessee running back Derrick Henry increased his rushing yards to 1,010 this season and had a 3-yard touchdown pass in Thursday night's game. The Titans have now won the last 7 of 8 games thanks to their 27-17 win over Green Bay.
Coming up on Big Friday Sports, decorated head coach Patty Gasso gives us an insight on her personal mission with OU softball.
And we'll take a look at a Friday night showdown between 2 young teams and 2 NBA MVP candidates. Stick around.
To Sofia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Central and Midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Friday Sports, and if you are heading out to the Palace on the Prairie and you are looking for some tailgating, make sure you bundle up, because although it's going to be 46 degrees and sunny during the tailgate time, once the gates open for the Bedlam Series tomorrow night, temperatures are going to quickly fall with that sun going down. Kickoff 36 degrees, and by halftime we will reach that freezing mark, and after the game below freezing at 30 degrees. So make sure you grab those hand warmers, bundle up in those layers. I will be out there bundled up, and I hope to see you out there as well. Brooklyn and Emily.
Well, moving on from OU football, let's check out the latest on some other Sooner sports.
Starting with OU men's basketball, the Sooners battled UNC Wilmington Tuesday night, finishing with a victory 74-53. Oklahoma looks to extend their streak as they face off South Alabama tonight at the LNC. Head coach Porter Moser showed his thoughts on what his team needs to improve on going into tonight's game.
That's what the doctor ordered, man. We needed to see it go in a handful of times. But there's going to be a lot of times that we don't shoot it particularly well. We got to find ways to win with our defense. Our defense and rebounding has always got to be constants.
And OU women's basketball didn't look too hot compared to number 25 Utah on Wednesday. The Sooners fell with a final score of 124-78 and took their first loss of the season. Oklahoma is hoping for redemption as they take on UT Arlington in the Maggie Dixon Classic on Sunday. Tip-off is set for 3:30 on ESPN+.
And the OKC Thunder left the Washington Wizards in the dust Wednesday night. A fourth quarter buzzer beater put the Thunder on top 121-120.
Tonight, OKC is in Memphis hoping to dominate the Grizzlies on their home court. Now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander tied his career high, putting up 42 points against the Wizards. But that isn't what caught his or his coach's eye on the stat sheet after the game.
Well, I knew he didn't have more than that with the free throws. We gotta get in the lab with the free throws. What the hell's going on with him?
Can you just walk us through that final sequence and what you saw before the shot at the end?
Sorry, Paris, one more time.
Sorry. Can you walk us through?
Shai, I'm curious, what were you looking at on the box score?
My missed free throws. My missed free throws. I can't shoot no more techs. I'm running away from fouls now. Yeah. I got to be better next game for sure.
Well, Thursday was a big day for head coach Patty Gasso and OU softball. The Sooners coach was one of 8 new members inducted into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame.
And with season 29 on the horizon and 6 national championships under her belt, Gasso talks about what coaching this team means to her.
They start as girls in our program, and they transform to women, which is one of the things I care about the most. And each one of them have an absolute place in my heart. I could not imagine that I would be here coaching for 29 years, but the love I have for this mission of empowering young women keeps me passionate and eager every day on the fields.
And up in Kentucky, middle schooler Josiah Johnson is making big plays in a big way. Johnson was born without legs, but despite his disability, he made his school's basketball team and started in Thursday night's game.
Thanks for watching Big Friday Sports. I'm Emily Faith.
And I'm Brooklyn Sweet, and we hope you have a warm and safe Bedlam weekend despite the coldness coming through. Good night.
Is your family. If a tornado